After learning how to create simple objects and architectural models, it's time to show another method for modeling through 3D Studio Max. In this lesson we will build a model of a cultural monument together. The site is the Episcopal Basilica in the town of Sandanski. It has been partially restored, and together with you today we will demonstrate the possibilities of technology for the presentation of the entire site, and the existing hypotheses about the architectural plan. Let's start. For starters, we will need the size of the building. If we do not have preliminary information and model an existing object, we can use the free program Google Earth Pro. With it we can understand the approximate dimensions of a building. Of course, it's best to use site drawings, but when we don't have them, we can use Google's tools. And how does this happen? From the main menu here, click on Show Line and then from all possible options select 3D Path. We mark the start and end point. We see that this wall is about 20 meters, and it corresponds to this part of our model. We enter 3D Studio Max, press Alt and W to maximize the working viewport and start modeling. Initially we create a box. We enter the data we have or have taken from Google Earth Pro. In our case, the wall is 20 meters long, e. 2000 centimeters and height 750 centimeters. We return to the original image. We see that the roof is sloping, so in order for the 3D object to acquire this shape, we return to the program. We turn the box into an edible poly, which will allow us to model the object freely. We click on this edge and by holding Ctrl and double-clicking, the program will make a loop that will select all edges. Now we can delete the back and side edges. To get a pitched roof, we need to choose only the upper edge and lift up. We select the two polygons on the roof and press to touch. In this way the roof becomes a separate object. We already have the contours of the eastern wall of our object. We see that there is a door here. To recreate it, we will need dimensions that we can derive from architectural drawings or, if we do not have them, enter approximate values. Let's now make a box that will correspond to the dimensions of the door. The height is 205 centimeters and the width 98 centimeters. Let's bring the new box closer to the originally created model. Now let's move on to front view. This is done by pressing F on the keyboard or by clicking here and selecting the point. Select the object and select the edge. Click Ring and connect. This time we will need two edges. Click on this edge and from the options below the constraint edge. This way we will not spoil the shape of the object. It should be snap-nem, the individual elements on the edge of the door. This is done from the toolbar and the Snaps toggle option. The shortcut to this function is the S button. Since we need the upper limit of the door, we select this edge, ring again and create another edge for the upper limit. As you can see, we have a problem because the edge in question takes the shape of the roof. Press F3 to see only the edges and select them. From the Select and Uniform menu, select Scale and Y-click and drag until you straighten the edge. Then with the Move tool, snap the corner for the upper limit of the box. And delete it. Select the edge polygon, click on the part with the door and delete. In the reference photo, we see that the upper part of the door has an arch. To fix this, we go to Create Panel, then in Shapes and choose an arch. We will use the Snap tool, shortcut is the S button. Click on the upper borders of the door and pull to get the desired shape. Then add another 5 edges with a ring. We go into vertex mode, select each vertex and adjust it along the line. We no longer need the arch and delete it. We will now add volume to the object with the shell modifier and give it a depth of 20 centimeters. As we can see from the photo, the roof is slightly protruding. To correct this, we mark the roof, select the top view. We select and pull the roof forward from the building. For the other part, we do the same. We will add volume to the roof for greater realism. Again, choose the shell modifier and apply a value of 3 centimeters. The principle of operation is identical in the construction of all sides of our site. Therefore, from now on you can continue modeling yourself. At the end you can practice the texturing lesson to shape the walls, which, as we see from the photo, are made of river stone, mortar and bricks.